Greetings, dear queers. Since it is still summer, and all last month and last week I've been going over horror related summer stories, I figure I might as well tell a story of my own. And that is of my worst summer ever. Yes, that's right. See, 3 years ago, I was forced out of my own house and forced to walk the very, very hot streets of New Jersey. Now, normally, New Jersey weather is chaotic at best, but during this year, it was a heat wave. And not just any heat wave, the hottest heat wave in the last 5 years before that. So, it was a scorcher. But because my grandmaunt recently moved in, her name just being Michelle, because first names don't matter on the internet. After she moved in, she got a lot harsher, let's say. And I got into arguments with her often. Up until the point where she barely wanted me in the house. Hell, she didn't want me in the house at all. So every single morning, she wanted me up and out the door. She didn't care what I was doing or where I was going. She wanted me out that door. Her excuse was to look for a job, but I know it wasn't. See, this lady is something else. She's manipulative 101. I guarantee. See, the moment she moved in, she took the opportunity to start taking over the house, treating it as her own, all because she got kicked out from hers all on her own, because she thought that she could skimp out on rent and get away with it. Big surprise, her landlord caught on and kicked her out. But she worded it as, oh, she wanted to come down. I know she didn't. But soon enough, she ended up taking over the whole house. I used to have a room, but then her golden boys, who were about 3 years older than me, she just put them in my room. She got her dogs, put them in my room, and now there's 7 dogs in one bedroom. And every single time she got angry at me, she took whatever the hell she wanted, and she tried to sell it, or she put it in the basement. I got in arguments with her quite often. And this summer was no different. All except for the fact that I was shoved out. See, I was in the middle of looking for a job, right? I was fresh out of college, as far as I could do at least, because I was forced into college as well, which is a whole other story. So I was walking out and looking outside to see what I could apply for. You know, any place that was hiring. That's just kind of what you do, right? And I found this little job during the summer, the very beginning of summer. I found this little job where I made popcorn. Now, it was a nice job. I enjoyed it, to be honest. I made all types of flavored popcorn. I made cheese, of course, and theater, and chocolate, and Oreo, and just all kinds. I made pizza popcorn. It was delicious. And I swear I'm not biased. But I got fired very, very, very quickly due to apparently making it badly. I don't know. I really can't figure it out because, I asked the customers, they seem to enjoy it, and I asked another worker of mine, and he seemed to enjoy it, but I got fired over bad popcorn. This initiated the rage of Michelle because she wanted me to get the job that she chose out for me. That's right. She chose a job, and she's like, you have to get this job. It was a job at a Dollar Tree. Very simple stuff, or a Family Dollar, actually. And, I have nothing against Family Dollar. I have something against her need for control. because that's what she does. If it's not her way, then it's the worst decision you could ever make. Oh my god. She's already annoying me and she's not even here. So I got into arguments with her and she banished me from the house. So I had to walk every single day, miles upon miles, and I'm serious too. I had to go to each and every town. I had to go further than that. She wanted me to go to a different county at one point, walking there, mind you. She only drove me if she felt like it, which was never, of course. And she would take me there if she felt like it, which again. And she wanted me to go walk hours. It didn't matter where, it didn't matter when. She wanted me to go there and apply there. It'd be fine if I actually had transportation, if I actually had money. Money, which she stole immediately after I was fired from that job. The very little money I did make, she made an excuse that I had to pay for my room. And it's like, what? Why am I paying rent? I lived in this house since I was a child. And it's not like I'm against paying rent, but I'm against losing literally all of my money because you say so. Because, oh, it's for your room and for your stuff and for your cat. It's like, you stole my cat. You literally, when you moved in, took my cat, put her in a different room, and keep her sealed there every single day. As far as I know, she's still sealed in that room, and you barely pay attention to her. My cat that I got from my mother, Michelle just stole her from me. Oh, and I'm not being dramatic either. She literally stole her. I did not give consent that she could do it. She came in my room, say, oh, nope, cat's gonna go over here now because my dogs need to come in here. It's like, what? Why are you sticking dogs in a bedroom? Dogs that are in heat, and one of them got pregnant, and now there's 7 dogs in the bedroom. 7. They're all medium-sized dogs sharing a bedroom, and none of them go outside. And you're complaining about my cat. You chose to take my cat. You chose to put her in this room. You chose to ignore her. And you chose to complain. And it's like, well, I would have kept my cat, but you wanted to take her. But now I have to pay you for my cat. No, I'm going to pay for my cat. Because she's supposed to be my cat. But you want to ignore that? Fine. Then it's your cat. And your problem. But that's not how she saw it. So, after I got fired from my popcorn job, she took me straight to the bank. And she's like, oh no, you have to pay me for all the times that you didn't pay me. That's literally what she did. She's like, I have to get paid for all the times you never paid me. And it's like, when was this deal struck, huh? Where was the paperwork, huh? You told me I had to pay rent. Fine. And we discussed a price. Fine. The price was not my entire paycheck. That's not how it worked. And, oh, but you didn't pay me. It's like, but I got the money now. You're not supposed to take all of it, because that's not how it works. I'm not going to pay for all the times I was supposed to pay rent before you even said anything. You just said nothing about me paying rent beforehand, but now you want everything I made because I didn't pay you before? You never told me to pay you. There was never any paperwork. There was never any warning. But here we are anyway, I guess. So, I lost all that I made. The very little that I made. The first time I made money in my entire life was that job. And I lost it all because she wanted to get paid for the times I didn't pay her. Didn't pay you for what? For what? You never discussed it with me before we went there. But, shh. Okay, fine. So, very next day, at 6 in the morning, she wanted me to go out. Be like, you have to walk around. You have to go to all these places. Like, you do realize what year it is, right? It is certainly not the 1980s where you knock on doors and you'd be like, please give me a job, sir. That's what you wanted me to do, by the way. She literally said, beg them to give you a job. Tell them that you will do anything. And you know, I did that, by the way. I applied to a Stop and Shop and I got the interview. And when I went in, it was my second time in my entire life doing an interview, period. So I was incredibly awkward and incredibly underprepared. And a big part of me didn't even want to be there because I was practically forced into it anyway. Because I felt like I wasn't ready at the time. Because, I was in college. I wanted to do that. I wanted to complete that first. I wanted to focus on this one thing at a time, Do school, get a job, get a place, do it all in a way where I can feel comfortable with myself, where I can feel ready. But that's never been my life. I've always been forced into something or another, as per usual. And Stop and Shop was one of those stops. So here I am in the interview, right? I barely look my best. I'm utterly unprepared. I'm stuttering. I'm anxious. I don't know what I'm saying. And the interviewer, she's asking me questions. And she's like, do you want to be here? Do you want to work here? And I'm like, yes. Because I don't know. Because I wasn't prepared for it. I wanted to do school first. I wanted to complete everything first. And then go to work. That doesn't feel unreasonable. It doesn't sound unreasonable to me. But it did to Michelle, so there I was. And it was painful. At best, it was painful doing that. And I could see it on the interviewer's face. Like, she wasn't dealing with any of this shit. She didn't want to see any of it. And she told me, what position do you want? And I'm like, anything? And she's like, what specifically? And I'm like, I don't know, just anything. Because that's what my grandma Michelle wanted me to do. She wanted me to beg. She wanted me to say, tell them you can do anything. I didn't get the job, by the way. I did not get the Stop and Shop job at all. And I applied everywhere. Absolutely everywhere I could. Every place that had a sign. Every place that had a website. Every place that I could. And of course, my grandma's boomer logic was, just walk up to them and tell them that you want a job. It's like, I'm not going to go into the places that firstly don't have any signs up, that don't have any QR codes up, that don't have any websites, that don't have, any place to apply. Because if they do not want a worker, then there's not going to be a hint that they want a worker, obviously. But she didn't want to hear it. She wanted me to go into every single one of these stores and be like, do you have a job, sir? Can I have a job, please? Do you have a job for me? Because she wanted me to beg. Oh, my God. And begging does not get you a job. It gets you nothing. Nothing at all. But boomer logic, right? Of course. So, I go outside. Every single day, the entire summer, I am walking in 105, 110, or higher degrees, burning my feet, burning my skin, going to all these fucking places. And the heat, man, if you've ever been outside during the summer, it doesn't even compare. You have to be outside during the summer in a heat wave and stay there outside for hours on end. And it is horrible. You can get burnt and blistered and you're just stuck there, constant movement, constantly, and you can't really take a break. Because she wanted proof. She wanted proof that I was going to all of these places. I was going towns and cities over. I was going to the next county over. I was just walking there. the entire time. And I was burning bad. Now, see, I'm white, I'm Irish, so I burn even worse than everyone else. So it made it even worse for me. The heat was just one example of why that summer was so bad. Oh my god. There was a time that I had a fresh argument with her about something stupid I don't even remember. And I had to walk it off. I had to go somewhere with shade. So I find this little hiking trail just off into the woods on the side of a highway. Which, yeah, I know, it sounds like an opener to a horror movie. But that's what I did. I was angry. And I walked through and I found out that it was a little type of Hooverville for homeless people. Which thankfully the people I ran into were nice. Because again, it sounds like a horror movie. Because I walked in there. There were old clothes strewn about, forgotten beds, bugs, animals, really gross shit. At one point, I even came across this old shack. It looked like it was put together haphazardly at best. It looked like it could have fallen down at any moment. But I'll give it this. I saw some kitties there, and that was adorable. I love the kitties. And I just kept walking deeper and deeper, and I didn't care at all. Not at all. And I saw the little town, I guess, this little alcove of just tents and shit. Now, I wasn't stupid. I did not go up to the tents. I mean, I wasn't completely stupid, at least. So instead, I walked around in a big, wide circle. And then I got lost. I was absolutely lost in this little forest that was too far in to be near the highway, but too away from just everything. So, what I do, I picked a random direction and I started following my ears. I'm like, okay, if I listen to the noise, then I'll be able to find my way out. And I did. Through a thorn bush. I marched through a thorn bush. Multiple. Wearing shorts. So my legs got absolutely destroyed. Torn. Bleeding. All over the place. Thankfully, I did make it out into the road. And I found a store nearby and I just rested there. Because I was not having it. I was so finished that day. Because I got even more angry. Especially at her. At Michelle. Because of that. So, I sat down. I texted her. No, I'm tired. And I want to go home. And my legs are in really bad shape. And they're bleeding. And I sent her proof, mind you. I literally took pictures of my bleeding legs. Her big helpful response was, clean it off so you don't look like a hobo. And then go and beg them for a job. And I was sitting there. All I told her was okay. That's it. I didn't do it, mind you. I mean, I did clean my legs because they were bloody. But I went right back to sitting down. Because I am not going up to just a random worker being like, do you have a job? Can you please give me a job, please? Please? That's not how it works. They're not going to hire you that way. Especially with my absolutely destroyed legs. After walking hours. After getting lost. And walking for even longer. And I left at, 6 or 7 in the goddamn morning? And by the time I got to that trail and I got lost and I got out, it was 12? 1? And then I finally found the store. It was at 1:30 or 2. And I'm there, absolutely destroyed. And it's like, oh yeah, great. Thank you, family member. Thank you so much for just telling me to clean off my legs to not look like a hobo. Wow, your concern is astounding. Absolutely astounding. Fuck. Huh. I didn't do that. My day was over. Absolutely over. I sat there and I rested, and then I left the store. Without talking to anyone, because there was no way I was going to try to apply for a place when I didn't even look like I wanted to be next to the nearest human soul for miles. Ugh, I ended up applying to that place later, mind you, but I never got an interview. So, whatever. But either way, I walked out when the time came to come back, naturally when it started getting dark, and I just stayed. I went back to that fucking house and I sat down and I didn't do anything for hours. Because that's how destroyed I was. That's how absolutely done with everything I was that day. But of course, the fun doesn't end there. Oh, hell no. See, after literal months of walking around and looking for places, which, keep in mind, I did not do that every day. I went to the library nearby and I just started watching movies. I binged the entire Hellraiser series. I went over to my friends a couple of times too, because there was no fucking way, especially I was going to go a goddamn county over, because I wasn't doing that shit. No, instead, I did the smart thing of going online and applying to these places, like an actual human being nowadays would, and not a boomer. And, during those days, that was fine. That was fine. Up until the big one. See, during this day, I got into yet another bloated argument with her, and she hit me. Now, she's been hitting me multiple times throughout all of these arguments, and the argument before that, I flat out said, I'm going to hit her back. Now, I didn't tell her this directly, but I did say it. She wasn't even around to hear it. Of course, then again, with all of her spy cameras that she put in every single room of the house, the hallway, the bedrooms, the kitchen, the back 3 in the back porch, 4 in the front porch. And keep in mind, we live in this small town full of old people. So the amount of cameras is absolutely obscene. And that's ignoring the 3 cameras she put on the left side of the house and 2 cameras she put on the right side of the house. It is so much, you swear, that she lived in the worst city that New Jersey had to offer. And it's like, no, you don't. You live on this little beach town in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of old people around you, okay? This isn't exactly ripe for burglary or any type of crime. But the way she acted, you'd swear she might as well have gotten a shotgun in the basement, too. Ugh. But nevertheless, this was the final time for me. Because after the upteenth time of her hitting me again, after another fucking argument about stupid shit again, I hit her back. She hit me first, I hit her back. Because it was only even. Because she was never going to listen. She was never going to acknowledge me. She was never going to care. Unless I did something drastic. That's what was going through my mind. She was never going to listen to what I had to say unless she got a taste of her own medicine. And that's what I gave it to her. So, I whacked her back. Not hard, mind you. I didn't damage her at all. She wasn't bleeding. She wasn't bruised. And I accentuate this because of what happened next. After I hit her, she ran inside, called the cops. The cops, after she... Oh my god. See, that day, the exact argument was something along the lines of her complaining about my cat again. Again, the cat that she stole, that she put in a separate room that I wasn't allowed to go in. And I got into an argument with her. Because, after all, it's my cat. You know how you would get defensive over your own pet because they're a part of the family. And when your family effectively gets stolen from you, how are you going to feel? Not exactly calm, right? So that's when the argument started. It continued. She hit me. I hit her back immediately. She slapped me. I slap her. Done. Then she ran inside, called the police, and the police came. And she gave them this sob story of how I ruthlessly attacked her. And I mean, she worded it like I literally walked up to her, slugged her across the face, and brought her down to the ground. Now, keep in mind that's not what happened. And I'm not lying. I have backup. That is not what happened at all. I did hit her. That's true. I'll admit to that. She hit me first. And oh, why would you hit your own family? It's like, well, why don't you ask her that, huh? Why don't you ask her why she constantly attacked me? Why don't you ask her why she stole all of my items? Why she took over my room? Why she stole my cat? She had to put her golden boys, her precious children, which were, what, 2, 3 years older than me? But they had to go in the room. They needed it just because. And they can get everything because they're so perfect and they do nothing wrong all the damn time. And it's like, yeah, okay, shut the hell up. And she did that all the time, mind you. All the time. If I did something, it was wrong. It doesn't matter what it was. I apply to a place, it's wrong. I say something, it's wrong. No matter what. I cook something, it must be poisoned. But her boys, they do the same exact thing, but with less effort, then it's fine. Hell, there was a day I got in an argument with this fucking lady. You know what happened? One of her sons come down, mind you. Now, keep in mind, I'm about 6 foot, around 240, 250 pounds. And her son is about 6'4" and about 400 pounds. And I was in an argument with her. He comes downstairs, punches me in the face. That's it. There was no warning. He didn't look. He didn't say anything. He just turned around, punched me in the face, and onto the couch where he continued to punch me. I, obviously being taken aback by this, attacked him back. Because I don't want to be hit, obviously. But she had her white knight, I guess. And I scratch his nose, mind you. Now, again, he was punching me in the face. He broke my glasses. He bloodied my lip. And I scratched him in the nose. That's it. Small, centimeter-long scratch on the nose. And she congratulated him for attacking me. And she said to me, "You could have taken out his eye." It was not on his eye. It wasn't near his eye. But, oh yeah, I am so sorry for not attacking back. I am so sorry for defending myself. Your white knight of a son just fucking attacked me. You bet your ass I'm going to hit him back. I'm not going to lay there and take it. And my dear father was like, "Oh, well, you shouldn't have hit him." It's like, well, he hit me first. Well, you shouldn't have hit back. Thanks. So you're also saying, defending her and him, you're saying I should have just taken all the hits. And if I passed out and if I died, well, I guess that was my fault. What is wrong with you? What's wrong with all of you? Ugh. So, yeah, that super epic slap that I did to her that day, it was a long time coming. Long ass time. So after she called the cops escorted me out, sent me to the hospital. The police sent me to the police. No, the police sent me to the hospital so I could get checked out. And I finally finish up. and I try to come back to the house. What do I get? The house is locked because Michelle has just randomly decided to banish me. Seriously. It's like, oh, you're kicked out now. That's it. You're evicted. And it's like, I lived there since I was a child. And the court of law recognizes that too, mind you. There's a reason I'm bringing that up too. So I'm kind of freaking out. This is the first time it's ever happened to me like this. I've never been evicted by my own family, so I don't know the rules. Not yet. So I go to one of my friends. I spend a few days. I go to another friend, spend a few more days. And it's been about a week, right? So after a week, I come back, find the door still locked. And I'm like, you know what? I ain't doing this anymore. I'm not going to just stay outside forever because I live here. Everything is here. And I'm not going to deal with her shit like this. So I got the cops. Cops let me in because, legally, I'm not evicted. So what does she do? See, after dealing with this for a little more, she kicks me out again. Then she goes to the court and files a restraining order against me. And I get served. This is all while I'm still walking around during that heat wave, mind you. And I have nowhere to stay. I end up going to her sister's place. And I think this was a good move on my part because those two, they despise each other. And I mean, they loathe each other on a whole other level. They really do. When my great-grandparents died, what did they do? They chose that moment to bicker and argue and accuse each other even more. Even more. They just used it as a reason to hate each other even more than they already did. So I went over to Michelle's sister's place, right? My other grandma, if you will. And I filled her in on everything. And I used that hatred to my advantage. Because I know how she is. I know how her sister is. And it was useful. Because I got her help to bring me to the court. To the courtroom, of course. And that's where I defended myself. Again. And I don't mean I attacked anybody. I mean, verbally. After Michelle saw me there, because I'm sure if I didn't show up, I'm absolutely positive she would have just won automatically. Because oh, didn't show up. So I win. I get the restraining order and I get to banish them to the nethers, I guess. Okay. So she cancels it, right? She literally cancels the first meeting at the judges. We meet up again several weeks later, and now Michelle has a lawyer with her. And I'm freaking out because I freaked out the first time. I mean, naturally, right? It was my first time in court, period. Now it's my second time against her again. So here I am in court, mind you. And Michelle is weaving this story, again, of how I attacked her, very similarly to what she said to the cops. And I retort with, all that I said. The lawyer, her lawyer, mind you, was like, oh, but no, this, and this happened. And it's like, no, it didn't. It didn't happen like that. Because I was actually there and you weren't. And she tries to get this defense of the phone, right? Because I got a phone from Michelle a while ago. It was one of her attempts to bribe me to think she wasn't as bad as she truly was. Her lawyer, she's like, oh, do you have a phone? I take out this phone. It was a completely different phone, mind you. I got it for free at one of those government tents that they set up. And this phone, it looked absolutely nothing like the last phone. Absolutely nothing. It had a different case, different color, different shape. The judge this part amuses me because the judge sees this and she's like, "What are you doing? What's with all this?" And the lawyer's like, "Oh, no. I'm getting to a point here." And Joe's like, "No, just sit down." Because the judge was so annoyed of it. And after we bring up our witnesses, right? I bring up mine over the phone. And because, again, he was there when the arguments happened. He saw what happened. He straight up tells the judge, "Hey, this is how it happened. This is what it is." And the judge is like, "Oh, okay. So it's just a family dispute. It's just arguments. You can't send a restraining order out because of that. You can't kick them out because they were there since they were, like, 8 years old. So this can't happen whatsoever." And I just straight up tell the judge, "You know what? It doesn't matter because I'm moving out anyway. Because I never wanted to be there. Ever." And after that day, after I effectively won the court case and the eviction fell through and the money fell through and, none of it worked like Michelle wanted it to, I got out. Sort of. But that is a different kind of story for a different day. But if you would like to share your worst summer stories, please put them in comments. What do you have? Maybe I'll read them out one day if there's enough content there. But that is all for now, my gay strays, theys and bays.